Hello. Happy Thursday night. Ah, so what we talking about today? First of all, just so you guys know, today marks my first month, and I do mean first month taking YouTube serious. First real month taking YouTube serious. I started on 11/11/2025, and it's now December 11th, 2025. And I hope this video finds everybody in good health. I hope everybody's doing well today. Hope everybody is enjoying these videos. I'm not gonna lie to you that there's a lot of these videos kind of shooting off the hip a little bit, but hopefully you found some value in them, and hopefully you guys are, checking in, tapping in, and making your comments if you feel that there's things I could do better. And if not, if I'm not doing better, I guess I would say, you can help me out with that. But hold on, I'm gonna get in my car. Okay, put me right there. I'm at this park right now. I haven't been to this park in a while. It's been probably about a few months since I've been to it. It's a really nice park. But I just kind of wanted to come here. I usually, when I do a lot of my recordings, I do it from the park at like not too far from my house, and I do these do my most of my poetry readings from that place as well. But today I just thought I'd come over here so I can have a little bit more space to operate a little bit. But anyway, today's topic, I would just say, is going to be short and to the point. I listen to a lot of people online, and I guess I get a lot of insight on a lot of the stuff that I talk about as far as topics and stuff. Today I was actually listening to my boy 19 Keys. Shout out to him. And then I even saw that he actually did a sit down with Jim Jones, who is one of my favorite rappers. So they actually had a really good conversation. Brought up some good points and a lot of good game and everything. So shout outs to those brothers and stuff. A lot of respect and everything for what they do. But the one video I did watch from 19 Keys, he was actually, and I don't have all the insight of what he was talking about, so don't quote me on anything. Don't hold me accountable. If you've seen the video that I'm about to talk about, you might like, oh yeah, he was saying this and you're saying this, so don't hold me to it. I'm just going to give you a little bit of just a context of what I think to be the right thing that he was trying to get at. He actually said that us as a people, as far as when it comes to time, and now, as we all know, time is man-made. And this is what I was actually talking about yesterday in one of my videos. I was just talking about how time is your biggest enemy. But be honest with you, time is man-made. Time is man-made. Do you believe that? I mean, not that I didn't know that. I'm just, when you really put it into perspective, somebody gave us an actual time. Somebody actually gave us, God gave us seasons, but somebody actually calendared that as something and gave us a time where things reset to, sorry, gave us, basically they have dominion of what we believe to be what we believe to be time, and what we believe how much time we have to do the things that we need to do. So that's one thing. And then the other thing, I think 19 Keys was talking about, oh God, I wish what was the temporal blindness is what's going on with our people. Temporal blindness, I believe that be the right term. So don't hold me to that. I apologize. I don't have my notes with me. I actually didn't bring them. I didn't take them. So I don't have any information, and I'll do another video so I can actually touch in on this a little. This is only part one, but basically what he was saying is that as a people, I think we were brought up in survival mode, which, you know, you always hear that online. You'll hear a lot of excuse me, you'll hear a lot of brothers talk about being in survival mode. And that's true. As a people, we are in survival mode. But as a people, we also don't go by time. We just go by what's immediate and right in front of us. And what we do is we actually follow the immediate of things, as opposed to when you start looking at like colonial people, or I guess what you would say like the Europeans, when they came over to get us, they actually follow, I think they were following like seasons and like the cycle, the natural cycle of nature, like, you know, your spring, summers, falls, winters. They was following those things, and they had things at abundance. So when you have things at abundance, it makes for the mindset that you don't necessarily have to follow time. I forgot where the actual idea and concept of time came from, but basically it was placed to give everybody a dominion, give man a dominion over other men, to how much time you allocated a part of your day and everything. And now, as we're now modernized in this time is, you know, more than ever our biggest enemy, because as a people, mind you, we are not programmed to think in the mindset of time. That's why us as a culture, we're more poor. We don't have like structure and organization of time. That's why we always on CP time, colored people time. So it's just, what 19 Keys actually was just so dope. And what was so dope about it was just to say that this is why we struggle with things, and we only make things a priority until it's a priority. So like, you know, anything that happens right in the most immediate, like let's just use an example, like that whole you know, back when like a lot of police shootings and police brutality incidents was happening, that's when everybody felt like they need to protest. Like, if we are talking about today, 2025, December 11th, we will look at right now, there's no protesting or anything going on right now. As far as us as a people, we're not running around here protesting about what needs to be done about police brutality. We only deal with stuff when it's happening in real fucking time. You don't hear none of our leaders coming out talking about we need to, you know, do this, we need to defund the police or anything like that. Hold on. We're not hearing about none of that. None of that's like an immediate priority or anything like that. Everybody is pretty much on, chill mode. Everybody's in a different headspace. However, if you were to think about time, why we run late everywhere that we go, we function by what's immediate. We might do a few things here and there that's going toward our future, like we might iron our clothes the night before because we know we got to go to work tomorrow. But how much more in advance are you planning your day, and how much more in advance are you planning your life, and how much more in advance are we planning our budget? It's like we don't think in immediate. We don't plan for our futures, or plan for our kids' futures, or plan for anything. We're getting better at it, but we don't plan. And then the other thing is, because their life is structured, like our society is so structured in the way of systems. Like we have political leaders, we have everything down from the top leaders in DC all the way down to the top leaders in your local community, whether it be in your county or whatever. It's crazy that everything is with structure. Everything in our society is ran in structure. But yet and still, you think in your life you can run on chaos, and you can't. You wonder why you can't get anywhere. Me and my wife actually had it's crazy because me and my wife this afternoon, we just had a really, not a fight, but we had a really harsh conversation. And needless to say, long story short, I just told her, like, look, I just don't make a lot of money. I don't make a lot of money. I don't make the kind of money I feel a man should be making in order to be in the position that I'm in. I have a house. We have 2 cars in our household. We just got our yard done. We have solar. We have water softener. We have all these nice things in our house. And you would come in our house, you would think that we rich and everything. But truth of the matter is, neither one of our jobs, and I'm talking about her job and even my job, and what thing about her, a lot of my wife's jobs lately have been temporary jobs. They haven't even been real jobs, but they pay her well. Me personally, as a man, I've never made more than I feel like I need to, to provide for the type of household I run. My wife would be the one to be quick to say I have expensive taste. I was like, I don't have expensive taste. I mean, I like what I like, but I do have an expensive lifestyle, and to be honest with it, she contributes to that. She's not high maintenance, but she do have a high taste of life and high quality of life. So with that being said, how are you as a person, and I'm just talking about to you, the audience, how do you live in a world where it's structured and you're not structured yourself? And this even applies to me, so don't think that I'm coming at you. I'm coming at myself as well in this conversation. How do you think you survive in society with time and systems, and you don't have a system in your own world? You're set up to fail. You are set up to fail. It is hard out here. It is hard. But again, I'll get back to you on my next video, because I do want this to be a 2-part video. Right now, what I did was I'm just making this part 1, but I just wanted to get this out here on what my thought process was, because I just thought what 19 Keys, like I said, shout out to him. He's a he's a really motivating person. And honest to God, one thing he did say at the end, and not what he said, is actually what Jim Jones said to him at the end of his show when he was interviewing him. But he was just telling 19 Keys like he's probably about the closest thing to our modern day Malcolm X. And honestly, I feel that way. I really do. That's the only dude, honest to God, that I can say got his head on straight. And the only other person next to him would be Mike Rashid. If you don't know who Mike Rashid is, you should check him out. He's really dope too. But 19 Keys and Mike Rashid, those are my big brothers to me. Those are people I really like. I fuck with heavy. Like their content is at the level I would love to have my content. But that's really my time. I just really wanted to talk about that because I just like sometimes I'll do these videos of talk about what I've learned from people because it does create the inspiration for new content. And I know I said I made a promise that I was going to do a video about the whole Wallow 267 about what he was talking about. I had did a video, and like I said the other day, I did not release it because I just didn't feel comfortable with some of the stuff I said because I feel like there was more I wanted to say. And so I kind of scrapped that video, but it's not to say that I won't still use some of the content. But I want to put a stamp on that one for now. But for right now, I just want to put a stamp on this video. Learn your time and learn your systems, because only then can you really conquer your own life and having your own systems and stuff in place. Because if you don't have a system in your life, you will fuck up. Sorry, I'm looking at the time. I have an appointment in about 20 minutes, so I'm just trying to make sure I stay on task. But yeah, just make sure you have your system and your time together in your life, because time might be your biggest enemy, but systems is your best friend. And if you have a good system in your life, your time will work with you, and your systems will make you rich, and they'll put you in order and put you in place. But shout outs again to 19 Keys, Jim Jones, and even my other mentor, Mike Rashid. Those are some of my favorite people to listen to as far as like what they speak about, because what they speak about is gold. It's like you can't get no better content than what they talk about. But that's it. And I will come back to you guys later on with some videos. Guys, make sure you guys check out my video I did on it's called Sabotage. It's a poetry reading. And today's Thursday. I am going to actually start releasing more throwbacks from when I used to do videos for YouTube. I just want you guys to see some of my earlier content and, try to see if there's anything that I did back then to what I'm doing right now that I can improve on, things that you might like back then that I did that I don't do that you would like me to do these days. I just want to start releasing that stuff because I think it's good content and I don't want it to go to waste. So tonight I might release one of my old videos and stuff of me, working on a video and stuff. And then I want to just kind of like, putting it to the side and not releasing it. But I do want to start doing like Throwback Thursdays. But that's it. I got 20 minutes in, and I hope that you got some value out of this video. Temporal blindness is what 19 Keys was talking about, and it's just about the way man set up time and systems to basically, in a long shot, control how we live our life. When us as culture, as black people, or as an indigenous people, we never follow time. That's why we're always in survival mode, because we grew up, or not grew up, but we was we was trained and programmed to be in that mode because of the environments that we're from. But now that we're in the modern times and in the systems that we still haven't broke from that programming, and we need to break out of that programming. So hope you guys got some value out of this. My name is Terrell. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'll talk to you guys on the next video. Peace.